Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to the Dice Tower. As we take a look through the Dice Tower library, today we're at shelf 13. This is a shelf that's kind of two minds. The first mind is the small card games on it, but they're too big to put into my card cases. So this shelf has more games than most of my shelves, but you'd be surprised how few these games get pulled, even if they are fantastic games, some of them. So real quick, that top shelf here, we have Artifacts Inc. from Ryan Lockett, Deep Dive from AEG. I don't think I've played that one. Hanabi, lots of people like Hanabi. Cutthroat Caverns. This is the game that puts Smirk and Dagger on the map, kind of a co-op game where you're trying to kill the boss, be the final one to hit them. Then next to that, we have Bonanza, the classic bean card game. Grimoire, in which if there's a tie at the end of the game, the designer wins the game. You're picking different spells from books like a rock, paper, scissors. Corinth. Next to Corinth, we have Morel's Mushroom Game. Next to that, one of the most difficult deduction games, probably should be on my deduction shelf, Sleuth. Truffle Shuffle, which was sort of a follow-up to Point Salad, but it wasn't as popular. Cascadia, Herbaceous, Escape. Now, Escape I pull out all the time. If you're at a con with me, there's a good chance we're going to play Escape, which is kind of Reiner Knizia's version of Can't Stop. Then King Domino Duel, Kawaii Pets, and man, we're going to skip a few here. Silver and Gold is a pretty neat game here. And then next to that, we have Penny Papers. I didn't realize one of those was in the library. Next to that's one of the most popular card games, Cat in the Box. And then a game that a lot of people have not played, but I really would like to see this one get reprinted, Nobody But Us Chickens. I think this game could do well coming back. The Gang is a fun, for many people, poker cooperative game. Niet, another trick-taking game. There's so many trick-taking game, folks. I can't put them all in the library, so I try to put the best ones in. That's why you see Niet and Cat in a Box there. Trash Pandas, and then Flip Town. Flip Town, a great flip and right style game. Then we move down to the next shelf here. So I have a couple of the super skilled pinballs. I can't put them all in. They're not going to get played that much, but I do like this kind of roll and write pinball game. Next to Veggie Garden. This is a game from Quick Simple Fun that never really took off that well, but a lot of people like it. I enjoy it. Condit's Here. This is one of the many versions of this game. Biblios, some really classic games. Roll Through the Ages, which I would argue was the forerunner of the resurgence of the roll and write genre. Roll Through the Ages really did a lot to bring that out. Metro X, which I think is one of the best in this. Then we have some of the more complicated games in this genre, roll and write genre. Three Sisters, French Quarter, and Motor City. And that is really bothering me that they are not all. There we go. They should all be the same direction here. Next to that, we have the card game of the Castles of Burgundy. Panda Spin, that's a new one, where you'll be flipping cards upside down to do them. Timeline, but this is a special timeline. If you ever come to the library, you should check out this game because I'm one of the few people in the world who has it. This is 90 years of play. It's a Lego timeline. So I'm pretty proud of having this in the library. Isle of Trains, which if you just watched our best games to start with the letter I, this was on that list. Avant-Garde, which is a sort of deck building Uno. It's pretty good. All right, then we get to one of the Valeria games, just one of them, the Villagers of Valeria, next to four of the Tiny Epic. So it's kind of tricky. There's a lot of Tiny Epic games, and I realized they're never getting played. So I just kept the top ones in here. Zombies, Quest, Dinosaurs, and Galaxies. At least these are the ones that get played the most. Then we have Rolling Ranch, a couple of the colors of Railroad Inc., and then a cool little game almost no one ever talks about there in the very end, After Nova. The next part of my collection is essentially here. We have the escape room games. Now, these aren't all escape room games, but there are many on these two shelves. But we'll start with the ones over here. Summit, which if you remember was Trey Parker's favorite game. Cryptid, That's kind of a deduction style game. That should probably go to my deduction shelf. That's 2 I need to move over to that shelf. Then the grandfather of escape room games, Time Stories. And I have several of the decks in there, so you can play Time Stories. There's a few of the expansions. And if you want to play the sequel, the Astral Project. Cantaloupe, that's kind of a... Cantaloupe is sort of... this one here is sort of a point-and-click adventure. I have 2 of the key games. These are from Haba, and they're real light deduction games, but a lot of fun. Suspects, which is almost like a party-esque deduction game. Mapmaker, the gerrymandering game. I really like this game. It's a good game. It's not as political as it looks. I mean, there's red, blue, and green, I think, but you are gerrymandering. It's teaching you how gerrymandering works. It's done from a very apolitical way and done by a trio of high school kids. And I think it's a good game. Kingswood next to that. Kelp, fun 2-player game. The deluxe version of Harvest, which is probably too big. The Bloody Inn, which people pleaded for me to put in the library, and it is in there now. Kill Dr. Lucky, a classic game. Celestia. Then Caesar and Cleopatra, which probably should not be there. That should be with the 2-player Cosmos style games. Maybe I'll move that later, but it fit in here for now. Kodama, and a couple of the adventure games, which are kind of like escape room games. Then the next shelf is definitely escape room games, where we have Escape Tales: The Awakening, which is pretty dark. Keep that in mind. Chronicles of Crime, and Chronicles of Crime, the Millennium series. So that contains, there's a lot of Chronicles of Crime in those 2 boxes. Micro Macro Crime City. I probably should get another one of those for the library. And then Unlock. And you say that's unreasonable to have that much Unlock, and it really isn't. There's a lot of good Unlock games out there, and I like having these in the library because you can just pick one, play one of the sessions in it at a convention, and it will work really well. Even though, again, the Star Wars one is not... There we go. Got to have all the boxes the same way. I know, the zigzag is broken up at the end. We'll fix that. And then on the bottom, these are games that just fit on the bottom of the shelf here. No other reason, really. Vagrant Song, Robo Rally, and Mage Knight Ultimate Edition. Those are 3 boxes, which are very different sizes. But they're big, weird boxes, and that's why they're there. A War Whispers, Isle of Skye, the big box. Core Worlds, a deck building game a lot of people don't play anymore. Enchanters, I really like Enchanters. I wish more people played this one. Then next to that, we have sort of a kids game, Gem Hens. It's probably not long for the library. Mutiny, that's an old game from Kevin Wilson. Roll Camera, which I never got around to playing. I should. Radlands, The Beast, and Catacombs. I gotta say, that's a very, very eclectic shelf. And these are sometimes when you know, why are games in certain spots? These are games because they just fit on this shelf. Not a lot of good reason for that. But that is a lot of what's on this shelf. On each of these shelves, my favorite game on the top shelf is Escape. No, Fliptown. Oh, I forgot about Fliptown. Fliptown's my favorite on shelf 1. Shelf 2 is tricky. There's a lot of roll and writes on this shelf. But Isle of Trains, I think, is my favorite one there. On the 3rd shelf here, man, there's a bunch of good games. Kelp is pretty good. It would have been Time Stories once upon a time for me. But yeah, I think I might go with Kelp on this shelf. And then on the bottom shelf, well, they're almost all Unlock. So yay, Unlock. That would be my favorite. And then on the very bottom shelf, wow, there's a bunch of stuff in here, but I think I'm going to give the nod to Catacombs because I really do enjoy that. What are your favorites on each shelf? Let me know in the comments. And that's another rack of the Dice Tower Library. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time. Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Vasel.